Hello everyone. Our today's topic is DB scan clustering method. DB scan states that it's a density based spatial clustering of applications with noise. It is the abbreviation for DB scan. It's a density based spatial clustering method. This DB scan is a clustering algorithm. It is one of the clustering algorithm that defines the cluster as continuous regions of high density. And it works well if all the clusters are dense enough and well separated by low density region. It is well separated the data points under a low density region. Clear? And in the case of DB scan, instead of guessing the number of cluster, we will define two parameters or hyperparameters. Okay, here no need of knowing how many number of clusters we are going to make for the given data set. Okay, there is no need to guess the number of clusters which which we are going to make. How many number of clusters we are going to make through the given data. No need of any kind of guessing. But if it is a k-means clustering algorithm, then we would say how many number of clusters we are in need. Okay, in earlier stages, but here no need of that thing. Okay, we can define the clusters as many as possible. There is no count here in earlier stages, right? And instead of that, here you need to identify two parameters. If you want to apply DB scan clustering method on some given data, then you need to consider two parameters. What are those? The first one is epsilon. The first one is epsilon. Second one is minimum points. First one is epsilon and second one is minimum points. What is this epsilon here? Epsilon E is a distance measure that will be used to locate the points or to check the density in the neighborhood of any point. What is minimum point? Minimum, the number of the minimum number of points clustered together for a region to be considered dense. For these two, I'll give you one example for you. Right. Okay. So let us first of all discuss about, wait a moment. Okay. What is epsilon and what is minimum distance? For example, these are my points. Okay, these are my points. Okay, first of all, you need to identify one point as a center point. Okay, among all these points, okay, I can choose this point as a center point. Okay, choose one data point as a center point. After that, okay, after that, try to give or try to give some E epsilon. By using this epsilon distance only, suppose that epsilon distance is this one. By using this distance only, you can draw some circle like this. Okay, so this is the how we have drawn this orbiter or some circle. Okay, it is based on epsilon. Assume, suppose this epsilon is 2. So 2 centimeters, assume that. Suppose this is the 2 centimeters. So by taking the radius, you may call this epsilon is a radius. Okay, the radius from center point to the, okay, the number here I have taken it. So by taking this, I have drawn some what circle. Now this is a one cluster, one group here, one group here. Now count how many number of points are there within this cluster. This is, assume this is cluster 1. Now in cluster 1, how many data points you have? Including this center point, we have 8 number of data points, isn't it? Total 8 number of data points are within this cluster 1. Okay, for this, here we are going to assign the minimum data points itself. So suppose, as my point of view, minimum data points are 4. The minimum data points are, I have given one number, that is 4. So check this particular cluster has the data points are equal, or at least the data points within a cluster must be, okay, greater than or equal to minimum points. So minimum points. Okay, I have given minimum points n value, n equal to 4, assume n equal to 4. So this cluster may have the data points are greater than or equal to this 4. Okay, it is the second condition. First condition, based on the epsilon, based on the radius from the center point, you should draw a cluster. You should draw a cluster. And coming to the second point, what is the second point here? First, assign a value, assign a value for minimum points n equal to something. You need to assign some value. Then based on that value, you need to check your cluster, whether your cluster has the data points of the given minimum points or not. Okay, suppose I may take, this is the second center point. Now I have taken one second center point. So from the second point, second center point, based on the some epsilon value, I have drawn one more circle like this. Okay, so this is E, epsilon E, radius from center point. Now, how many data points are covered this particular cluster to? It's obviously 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's a greater than 4. This is one cluster. Like this, you need to, okay, you need to make the clusters in DBSCAN with the epsilon, and by taking the minimum number of points in a cluster. By considering these 2 points, you need to make the clusters in DBSCAN clustering method. Okay, so how to take the epsilon value and how to take the minimum points value, I'll explain in third slide or fourth slide or something. Okay, then this is the uh, basic idea about epsilon and minimum points here, right? And here you need to remember one more point. It is the DBSCAN clustering is a while making the clusters, some overlapping clusters also formed. Okay, you may get the cluster with a nature of overlapping. One cluster may have the data points of another cluster. Okay. Coming to the next slide. Here you need to observe three different points while making the clusters by using DBSCAN clustering method. Here you can observe the three different points here. What are those? First of all, identifying the core point. Second one is identifying of border point, and third one is a identifying of noise point. So what is core point? What is border point? What is noise point? Okay, till we have discussed clearly. If suppose uh, suppose first of all you need to take epsilon value. Okay, something, epsilon value is something, and after that a minimum number of points, data points in a cluster, that is equal to, assume 6. Okay, 6. Okay, which cluster has minimum of 6 data points, then that cluster is called, okay, core cluster. Core cluster. Now I have assigned n equal to 6. What is n here? The minimum number of points within a cluster. Okay, I'm in need of, now I have assigned, if one cluster is called a core cluster, then that cluster must have minimum 6 data points, or more also it can be allowed, but not less than. If you observe these three clusters, okay, here this in this first cluster 1 has, assume this is cluster 1, okay, this is cluster 2, and this is cluster 3. Okay, C1, C2, C3, cluster 1, cluster 2. And this cluster 1 has 6 data points within it. Check it out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 number of data points, right? And from center, this is a center point. Here A is a center point for this cluster. From this center point, it has taken the EPS epsilon value. Okay, let's assume that is 2 centimeters, assume that like that. So it's the epsilon value. After taking this epsilon value, it has drawn one circle. Okay, so this is, first of all, identify a center point, and by using the epsilon value, you can, I mean, by taking the radius, you can draw a circle, arbitrary shaped circle, Then after finishing that, you need to calculate the total number of data points within it. If the total number of points are equal or greater than n, equal or greater than the n is a minimum points, right? Then that cluster should be called as a core point or core cluster. See, it is a core point which cluster has at least 6 or greater than 6 data points. That cluster is called a core cluster. After that, again start identifying the another center point here, another center point. And sorry, here one more point also there. I think this is the another point. 7 points are there here. Okay, right. After that, identifying one more center point, and by taking the epsilon value, you can draw another circle. Again, start counting. If it has 6 or more than 6 data points are there or not. If it is there, again cluster 2 is also called as core cluster. But if you observe the cluster 2, we didn't have 6 data points, only will have few data points. What are those? Okay, now okay, this check the data points in this cluster 2. This is first data point, second data point, and third data point, and this is also coming under this one only, right? 4 number of data points are there in second cluster, so automatically it is not a core cluster. Why? Because the less number of data point it has, so that's why this is not a core point. So what it is? It may call as border point. It may call as border cluster or border point. So if one cluster as a border cluster, it needs to follow 2 steps. First step is it doesn't it has the data point less than the n. That is first condition. Okay, already we have reached that first condition. What it is, it has only 4 number of data points, right? And what is the second condition? The second condition is the border point must be a neighbor of a core point. Neighbor of a core point. It must have at least one data point of core point. Okay, it should have at least one data point that belongs to a core point. It needs to have, that is the second one. See the point here, the data point that has at least one core point. Okay, this border data point that has at least one core point within epsilon distance and lower than minimum points within epsilon distance from it. Okay, so such kind of point is called border point. Okay, for example, Assume this is cluster 1. Next. Okay, this is cluster 2. Okay, right? This is a center point for this. Okay, assume this is the center point for this, and this is the center point for this. And here I need to have how many data points? 6, right? Okay, 6 minimum data points. Okay. If you will observe this diagram here, we are having cluster 1 and cluster 2. Two clusters are there, and cluster 1 has 6 number of, as it is 6 number of, okay, data points are there. Okay, this is the center point. Including with this center point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number of data points are there in C1, right? So automatically C1 is called a core cluster or core point, right? And coming to the C2, C2 has only 4 data points, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has only 4 data points. Okay, as per the condition, it's not coming under a core data point, which means core cluster. C2 is not a core cluster. Why? Because it doesn't have 6 number of data points, right? But if it is not a core cluster, then you may call it as a border cluster. When it should satisfy the second condition also. What is the first condition? First condition is it has the less number of data points, okay, than n. That is first condition. What is the second condition? The second condition is at least, okay, one core point is this. One core point is, okay, the C2 has one core cluster point. Core cluster point. This is that one, right? Which cluster has at least one core point or core cluster point? That cluster is called as border point here. Okay, this C2 has this point. Actually, this point is belongs to both C1 and C2, right? Actually, C is already we have identified as a core cluster. Okay, so C2 has one data point which is belongs to a core cluster. Then only C2 may be called as border point or border cluster. Clear? Suppose suppose now check it out. C2 is the border cluster or not? Obviously, it's not a border cluster. Why? Because C2 doesn't have any core points within its radius, isn't it? Already we have one core cluster C1. Okay, but any data point of C1 is belongs to C2? No. So that's why now C2 is not a core cluster, sorry, border cluster, because it doesn't have any data point of core cluster or core data point. right? So now what we call C2, now we may call this C2 as a noise point or noise cluster. Clear? It doesn't have any relationship with a core cluster. Then it has the less number of data points. Such kinds of clusters are called noise clusters or noise points. Okay, if you observe this diagram also, so this one is we can call, okay, we used to call this cluster 2 is border point. Why? Because this cluster B cluster shares the core points of A, isn't it? This is 1 point, this is 1 point. So that's why we have called, we should call this border point as a, so we can call this particular cluster as a border point, right? And coming to the noise point, this noise points means it has 3 data points, 1, 2, 3, but it has 3 data points, but it doesn't have any core points, within it. So that's why it's called a noise point. What is the first condition of noise point? The data points within this cluster are less than the n. First condition is satisfied. Only we have 3 data points. Coming to the second condition, okay, it does not, if it does not have any core point within it, then we may call such kind of clusters are called the noise clusters or noise point. This is about the 3 different clusters within DBSCAN. One is core cluster, second one is border cluster, third one is noise cluster. Core cluster in the sense, if the cluster is satisfies the minimum data points, then that cluster is called a core cluster. Border cluster has 2 conditions. One is, okay, it doesn't have, it has the minimum less number of data points than n. And coming to the second point, it must and should have at least 1 core point within it. Then then clusters are called border clusters or border points. Coming to noise clusters, what are noise clusters? Noise clusters also, the data points of noise cluster are less than the n. First condition. Second condition is, okay, it doesn't have any core point within it. Such kind of clusters are called the noise cluster. Okay, this DBSCAN forms these 3 kinds of clusters or these 3 kinds of points by using the algorithm, by using DBSCAN algorithm, right? And coming to how to select the parameters of DBSCAN, how to choose the minimum points and how to choose the epsilon radius value. So the minimum points are based on the given dimensions of a data set. Okay, if you have given one data set, the data set may have some dimensions, isn't it? Okay, so based on the dimensions, here we are going to choose the minimum points. Okay, if the data set, okay, the data set dimensions are represented by using D and minimum points are represented by using N. N greater than or equal to D plus 1. D plus 1. Assume D number of dimensions are there within a given data set. Okay, so based on the, suppose 2 number of dimensions are there, means 2 plus 1, 3. And n is equal or greater than the 3. Like that, you should take the value for minimum points n. If it is a small data set, but if it is a large data set, you may take this one, n equal to 2 into d, 2d. Okay, if it is a large data set, the number of dimensions are more in your data set, then you should take the n value is like this. Okay, d, suppose 2 means 2 into 2, 4. Okay, n value is 4. If dimensions are 3 means 2 into 3, 6. Like that, you should assign the value for n. Coming to the epsilon. So this epsilon value equal to, okay, it is based on chosen by k graph. K graph in the sense k equal to minimum points minus 1. What is the epsilon value? Epsilon value is based on k. This k equal to minimum points. Already here we have defined some minimum points, right? Okay, assume the minimum points are 6. So 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1, how much? Obviously it is 5. So like that, you should take the k value. That would be represented as epsilon value. Okay. And here you can consider one more parameter. That parameter is distance function. Distance function, to calculate the distance between the points, here you can use Euclidean distance. Euclidean distance, like K-means algorithm. In K-means algorithm also, we may use Euclidean distance, Math distance. Okay, many distance calculated measures are there. Here you can use Euclidean distance measurement in DBScan. Okay, it is very tightly linked to the choice of epsilon value. Okay, it has a major impact on the outcomes. Okay, so this is chosen appropriately based on the nature of the given data set. These are the 3 important parameters in DBScan algorithm or clustering, right? And coming to the DBScan algorithm, any 2 core points that are close enough, any 2 core points or any 2 core data points are close enough within a distance EPS epsilon of one another are put in the same cluster. What it is? If this is a center point, okay, and from the center point I have drawn one radius. If your data point is within this radius, then you make it this point as within the core cluster itself. Okay, that is the point 1. Coming to point 2, any border point that is close enough to a core point is put in the same cluster as the core point. If one border point is near to a core point, then you consider that point as under a core point itself, right? Coming to the third one, ties may need to be resolved. Ties may need to be resolved if border point is close to the core point from different cluster. So for many clusters, core points and border points are near to one another. Then what we have to do? In such kind of situations occur, you need to resolve those. So which point is coming under which cluster, like that. Okay. And finally, identified noise points are discarded. What we have to do? Identified noise points are removed or discarded. Coming to the algorithm, this algorithm has only 5 steps. The first step is label all points as core, border, or noise points. Okay, whatever the data points you have, okay, within your space, then identify all the points as which point is a core point, which point is a border point, and which point is under a noise point. You need to identify all the points. Then eliminate noise points. What we should do now? We need to eliminate the noise points in step 2. Coming to the step 3, put an edge between all core points that are within the epsilon range of each other. Okay, you need to draw a arbitrary shape or circle. I mean, by using an edge between center point with epsilon distance, right? And coming to fourth point, make each group of connected core points into separate cluster. Okay, make each group connected core points into a separate cluster. All the core points, you can make all the core points into a single cluster. And finally, assign each border point to what we have to do in fifth step. In fifth step, we have to do, we can do, if we have a border points, okay, assign each border point to one of the cluster of its associated core points. If possible, your border points also assign it to your core points or or to your core clusters. Right. This is the algorithm of DB scan. And these steps are repeated. Coming to the last slide, it is having the strengths and weaknesses of DB scan. What are the strengths of DB scan? It doesn't require any prior specification of number of clusters like k-means. Okay, no need of assign the number of clusters prior to the algorithm. Okay, that is one of the point. But if it is k-means clustering means you need to say how many number of clusters you want in starting itself. But here no need of okay such kind of specification to this algorithm. And coming to second one, it is able to identify noise data while clustering. While doing clustering, it is easily identify noise points. And database algorithm is able to find arbitrarily sized and arbitrarily shaped clusters. Okay. And coming to weaknesses, DB scan is very sensitive to parameters like radius and minimum points. Okay, without these two, we can't make the clusters here, right? So these two are the sensitive map parameters in DB scan. That is the one of the weakness. And coming to the second point, the size and shape of the clusters vary from one another based on the parameters given. Okay, if the parameter radius is more means automatically the shape is increased, the arbitrary shape is increased. If the radius is less means it is decreased, it would cover only few points. If the radius is more, then it would cover more number of points like that. Okay, the size and shape may be changed, okay, based on the parameters itself. And coming to third point, DB scan does not work well with varying densities. If one data point is here and one data point is here, one data point is here, if like that you have your data points, okay, it may be not so that much suitable. It's not a suitable for one. and it does not work well with high dimensional data also. Okay, these are the weaknesses of DB scan. By this, we have finished of the DB scan concept. What it is, within it, we have completely about a, okay, making or identifying the core points, border points, and noise points. If after identifying the noise points, we need to remove those noise points. Okay, and this is the main concept of DB scan here. Thank you.